Changes coming to state law requiring you to get a new kind of driver's license. In this week's Know the Law segment, attorney Tom Sinus is here with what you need to know about real IDs. This is coming down the pike. Everybody needs to have one soon.
Yeah, so it's coming down the pike officially not until 2020. But something has happened in the last couple of weeks that is getting people to ask questions what this program is all about. And what's happened is that the Secretary of State has started to issue driver's licenses that are what are called Real ID compliant. So what's Real ID? Well, Real ID was passed back in 2005.
This has to do with the feds, right?
Exactly. It was passed in the wake of the September 11th terror attacks to try to come up with uniformity and better security controls for identification. So they wanted to make it so that identifications couldn't be easily copied, and so that you didn't have to add a bunch of validating information like your social security number, which, as we know, can be hacked and stolen. So back in 2005, the federal government set up this law that said by 2020, in order for you to travel on a domestic airline or visit a federal facility, you have to have what's called a Real ID.
Okay.
And the IDs, of course, are going to be continue to be issued by the state.
Holds to those federal standards, though.
That's right. The states issue the IDs, but they have to comply with the federal standard. So if by 2020 you don't have a real compliant ID, then you won't be able to board a domestic flight without a passport.
Domestic?
Right.
Wow.
That's right. Or you won't be able to visit a federal facility. Well, people might be thinking, oh no. Well, the good news is that the Secretaries of States are already rolling these out. So you may have, if you've renewed your driver's license.
They're issuing Real IDs now.
That's right. What you want to look for, if you got a driver's license recently, you want to look for a gold star on the upper right-hand corner of the driver's license. That will indicate to you that it's Real ID compliant, so you're fine. Other people, like myself, have what's called an enhanced driver's license that allows you to go back and forth to Canada without a passport, for example. If you have an enhanced driver's license, you're Real ID compliant, so you don't have to worry about it. The way the process is set up right now is the Secretary of State is supposed to be telling you if the driver's license that you're getting is not Real ID compliant, and it'll say that it's not for federal identification. So if you get a driver's license that says not for federal identification, it's not Real ID compliant. So you've got between now and 2020 to either get a new driver's license that is compliant, or get a passport, or don't fly domestically, which isn't an option for a lot of people.
Right. That's just getting around these days.
Right, exactly. So what do you need to do if you've got an ID that's not compliant? Go to the Secretary of State's office, but make sure you bring with you your original birth certificate with the raised seal, not a photocopy.
Right.
If you want to avoid that, when you're going through the renewal process, make sure that you're filling out the form to get either an enhanced driver's license or one that's Real ID compliant, so you don't end up going to the airport. You
don't want to get stuck at the airport.
That's right. Good
advice. And if somebody needs some legal advice, you guys have offices across the state.
We sure do. Call us anytime, 616-301-3333. You can find us online at sinusdramus.com or shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com.
Tom, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.